welcome to our channel. Today, we venture into the dark heart of humanity, a place where some of the most unsettling and terrifying creatures reside, those who take the lives of others. In the annals of human history, there have been individuals whose capacity for cruelty seems to know no bounds. Their crimes, often as shocking as they are inexplicable, leave an indelible mark on our collective psyche. Join us as we delve into the lives and crimes of the top 5 most dangerous murderers in the world, exploring the intricate details of their heinous acts and attempting to understand the motivations behind their terrifying deeds. Our journey begins in the United States, a land of vast landscapes and diverse peoples, but also a place where darkness can fester beneath a veneer of normalcy. It is here we encounter the chilling tale of Ted Bundy. Bundy was, by all outward appearances, an ordinary man. Handsome and charismatic, he possessed an almost disarming charm that allowed him to blend seamlessly into society. This facade, however, concealed a monstrous truth. Throughout the 1970s, Bundy embarked on a reign of terror, preying on young women across multiple states. His modus operandi often involved feigning injury or impersonating authority figures to gain the trust of his victims. Lured by his deceptive charm, these unsuspecting women would fall into his trap, only to meet a grim and violent end. Bundy's crimes were not merely acts of murder, they were brutal assaults on innocence, marked by a chilling level of premeditation and depravity. He would often revisit the sites where he had disposed of his victims, engaging in acts of necrophilia that spoke to the profound depths of his depravity. His crimes shocked a nation, shattering the illusion of safety and leaving communities reeling in fear and disbelief. Despite the overwhelming evidence against him, Bundy maintained his innocence for years, even representing himself in court with a chilling air of confidence. His intelligence, coupled with his manipulative nature, made him a formidable adversary, further adding to his notoriety. It was only in the face of imminent execution that Bundy finally confessed to the full extent of his crimes, revealing a staggering body count that sent shockwaves through the nation. Even in death, Ted Bundy remains a haunting figure, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most seemingly ordinary individuals. His case continues to fascinate and horrify, serving as a chilling testament to the depths of human depravity. From the Pacific Northwest, we travel to the heartland of America, to the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Here, a tale of unimaginable horror unfolded, perpetrated by a man named Jeffrey Dahmer, forever to be known as the Milwaukee Monster. Dahmer's crimes were as shocking as they were gruesome, marked by a chilling blend of violence, necrophilia, and cannibalism. His victims, mostly young men and boys, were lured to his apartment under false pretenses. There, Dahmer would drug and restrain them before carrying out his horrific acts. Driven by a twisted fascination with death and a desire to exert ultimate control over his victims, Dahmer went to unthinkable lengths to preserve their bodies. He would dismember them, preserving body parts in jars filled with formaldehyde, creating his own macabre museum of horrors within the confines of his apartment. The stench of decay permeated the building, raising concerns among neighbors, but Dahmer's reign of terror continued unabated. It was only through a stroke of luck that one of Dahmer's intended victims managed to escape, alerting authorities to the horrors that lay within Dahmer's apartment. The discovery sent shockwaves through Milwaukee and beyond, revealing a level of depravity that few could have imagined. Dahmer's trial was a media sensation, as the world grappled with the gruesome details of his crimes. He was ultimately sentenced to multiple life terms in prison, where he would spend the rest of his days confronting the consequences of his monstrous actions. Jeffrey Dahmer's case stands as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within seemingly ordinary individuals. His crimes, driven by a toxic cocktail of mental illness and depravity, continue to haunt our collective consciousness, serving as a stark warning of the fragility of human life and the depths of human cruelty. Our journey through the darkest corners of the human soul takes us next to the seemingly benign world of clowns and birthday parties. It is here, in the guise of a friendly entertainer, that we encounter the chilling figure of John Wayne Gacy, the killer clown. Gacy was a well-known figure in his Chicago suburb, often donning a clown costume to entertain children at parties and hospitals. Beneath this jovial facade, however, lurked a sinister secret. Gacy's home, a seemingly ordinary suburban house, concealed a horrifying truth, a crawl space transformed into a mass grave. It was here that the bodies of his victims, young men and boys lured to his home with promises of work and companionship, were discovered. Gacy's modus operandi often involved using magic tricks or restraints, a perverse exploitation of his victims' trust. He would then strangle them, their bodies discarded in the crawlspace beneath his home. As the body count grew, so too did the stench of death, permeating the neighborhood. Despite this, Gacy managed to maintain his facade for years, his crimes hidden in plain sight. It was only after the disappearance of a young man, who was last seen with Gacy, that authorities began to unravel the truth. A search of his home revealed the horrifying extent of his crimes, sending shockwaves through the nation. Gacy's trial was a media spectacle, as the world recoiled in horror at the details of his crimes. He was convicted of 33 murders and sentenced to death. John Wayne Gacy's case stands as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath a veneer of normalcy. His crimes, a betrayal of trust in its most heinous form, continue to haunt our collective memory. Our exploration of the world's most dangerous murderers takes us now behind the Iron Curtain, to the Soviet Union, where a reign of terror unfolded in the shadows of a closed society. Here, we encounter the chilling story of Andrei Chikatilo, the butcher of Rostov. Chikatilo's crimes were as brutal as they were numerous, his victims subjected to unimaginable horrors. He preyed on the most vulnerable members of society, targeting young women and children who were often lured to their deaths with promises of food or assistance. His crimes were not merely acts of murder, they were acts of sadistic cruelty, marked by sexual assault, mutilation, and cannibalism. Chikatilo's reign of terror cast a pall over the region as fear and suspicion gripped communities across the Soviet Union. Despite the efforts of law enforcement, Chikatilo remained elusive for years, his crimes continuing unabated. The Soviet authorities, initially reluctant to acknowledge the scale of the problem, faced mounting pressure to bring the perpetrator to justice. It was only through a combination of persistent investigation and a stroke of luck that Chikatilo was finally apprehended. His capture and subsequent trial sent shockwaves through the Soviet Union, exposing the dark underbelly of a society grappling with its own internal demons. Chikatilo's case, a chilling example of human depravity, served as a grim reminder of the importance of confronting even the most uncomfortable truths. His crimes, a product of both individual pathology and societal failings, continue to haunt the annals of criminal history. Our journey through the annals of criminal history concludes in the sprawling metropolis of Los Angeles, a city of dreams and aspirations, but also a place where darkness can take root. It is here, in the mid-1980s, that we encounter the terrifying figure of Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Ramirez's crimes terrorized the city of Los Angeles, and beyond his modus operandi marked by a chilling blend of randomness and brutality. He would invade homes in the dead of night, his victims chosen seemingly at random, their lives upended in an instant. Ramirez's crimes were as unpredictable as they were violent, his victims ranging in age and background. He would shoot, stab, rape, and torture, leaving a trail of fear and devastation in his wake. The randomness of his attacks only amplified the terror, as residents of Los Angeles lived in fear, never knowing when or where the Night Stalker would strike next. Ramirez's crimes gripped the city in a state of panic, as law enforcement worked tirelessly to bring him to justice. His image, captured on a security camera, became synonymous with fear, his gaunt features and dead eyes staring out from wanted posters plastered across the city. It was through a combination of citizen vigilance and determined police work that Ramirez was finally apprehended, his reign of terror brought to an end. His trial, a media spectacle, captivated the nation as the world grappled with the depths of his depravity. Richard Ramirez's case stands as a chilling reminder of the vulnerability of even the most seemingly secure environments. His crimes, a product of a disturbed mind and a callous disregard for human life, continue to cast a long shadow over the city of Los Angeles. We have journeyed into the darkest corners of the human experience, exploring the lives and crimes of individuals who have committed acts of unspeakable cruelty. Their stories serve as a stark reminder of the capacity for evil that exists within our species. But even in the face of such darkness, it is important to remember that these individuals represent a minuscule fraction of humanity. For every act of cruelty, there are countless acts of kindness, compassion, and courage. Thank you for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Stay safe and see you in the next video.